Good evening, Justin. It is Tuesday, July 16th, and I'm sorry. I apologize for the fact that I have not made a video for you for something on the order of a month. It is inexcusable, and I'm sorry. But I'm back. In my defense, it's been crazy around here. So let me catch you up to speed on what's going on, and then we'll get to the content. So our first house went on the market the very last Friday of June last month. And within 24 hours we had our first offer. Within 48 hours we had 3 total offers. It is a crazy seller's market here. I don't know what it's like the rest of the country, but it is nuts here. So we ended up rejecting one offer, accepting one offer, and putting another offer on the back burner. We've been going through the process of trying to get these buyers that want to buy our house into the house. And part of that, of course, is the inspection process, which we're going through right now. This is, in fact, the last day of their inspection period, and we're going back and forth on addendums and stuff like that. And it looks like we're going to have to do some things to make them happy, but that's the way it goes. The other new thing, our chickens are now living in the chicken coop. I don't think they were out there when I last made a video for you. The chicken coop isn't quite done yet. I've got a few things yet to finish, but it's habitable for chickens, so they're out there. And they seem to be happier, although they were picking on one of their fellow hens, and we had to put her back in the brooder to heal. Henpecking is a real thing, and it's not pretty. And there are some personal / professional things that are going on with me right now that I can't quite get into yet, but when they all get ironed out, I will tell you all about them, because they're kind of exciting, I think, and hopefully it all works. So I'm going to jump right into my content today. I've been planning this for a little while. It's not very heavy-hitting content, but I want to do it anyway. I know that, like me, you enjoy a good story and you enjoy reading a good book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend 5 of my favorite books today from one of my favorite book story genres. But before I get to my recommendations, books that I think you'll enjoy if you haven't read them yet, I wanted to give you a couple of ideas, because I know where you're at. You probably don't have this fantastic library available to you. But there are a couple of interesting options you may or may not have already discovered with regard to being able to read a book. So if you don't have access to a fantastic library, but you do have time to sit down and read a book or have it read to you, a couple of things you might consider doing. Audible.com is a company owned by Amazon that offers audiobooks. And you can listen to these things on your smartphone, on your tablet, and it's not the cheapest thing in the world. But there are a whole series of free offers out there, and I took advantage of one of them last month while I was building the chicken coop. The other thing I learned recently on my smartphone, I have the ability via an app to make it behave like a Kindle. Now, it's not as cool as the Kindle with the neat, user interface and all this stuff, but it works. You can buy a book straight from Amazon, the Kindle version of it, and read it on your iPad, iPhone, whatever, Android smartphone. Neither of these options is free, I recognize that, but if you have the time and you have the inclination, you can pick up a book electronically. I'll try to put a link in the description down there about the Audible.com free offer, because it's worth checking out. It really doesn't cost you anything to listen to a story on audiobook. One of my very favorite genres of storytelling is the historical fiction. You take a historical backdrop and you put on top of it fictional characters and surrounded by factual events. And it makes for a very compelling. I'm going to recommend 5 of my very favorite historical fiction novels for you. One of the first historical fiction authors that I got into some time ago was James Michener. You might recognize some of his titles like Alaska, Hawaii, Centennial. There are a lot of others, and a lot of them are based on geographical locations and the history behind them. He's a very good author. One of my favorites is James Michener's Space. This book starts about right at the end of World War II, and it's all about the space race. This is actually the only James Michener novel that I know of that doesn't start with the creation of Earth, the genesis of life, the dinosaurs, and finally, by about page 150 to 200, the dawn of man. So at least you jump into the action really quick. I don't have a copy of this one, but The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett is an excellent story. It takes place in the 14th century, I believe, and it's all about the construction of a cathedral in England. An excellent story, again based in sort of medieval England. It's one of these multi-generational fictional character sets against a backdrop of essentially factual events. It's a fantastic book. There's also a sequel titled A World Without End, which is also very good. There are adult themes to this novel, by the way, but you're an adult, so you can handle that. Another great novel. This one's set actually during World War II from the perspective of a German young girl, is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. Wonderful writing, excellent storytelling, and it really gives a person an image of what it must have been like to live through World War II as a German citizen. Absolutely amazing story. Now, I picked this next book out so that I could share it with my children because it's a very recent book and it's a Newbery Medal Award winner. This is Moon Over Manifest by Claire Vanderpool. This book takes place in actually 2 different time frames. It's kind of a split narrative. This is a book that you can read to your kids sometime soon. I'm guessing it would be appropriate as a read aloud for your 5, 6, 7-year-old. Okay, the last novel I have to recommend for you today, I swore I had a copy of this in the house somewhere, but I can't find it. I don't remember if you were in the same reading class as I was back in 6th grade, but this is a book that was a challenge for us back at the very end of 6th grade reading class to try to tackle this book. As like an 11-year-old, I guess I turned 12. This is Alexandre Dumas, the same person who wrote the Three Musketeers series. This one-off novel, titled The Count of Monte Cristo, is usually described as a tale of revenge. And it sort of is, but there's more to it than just that. If you haven't read it, it's absolutely fantastic. It's a little bit slow in the beginning, but stick with it because it gets good. So those are my 5 historical fiction book recommendations for you. I hope you enjoy one or more of these. I imagine you probably read a few of them, if not all of them, but what the heck, it's worth a try. I imagine you probably have an hour or 2 every day of downtime with very little to do, and I hope you're not bored out of your gourd. Maybe not, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then save these for when you get home. So that's it from here today. I hope you're well, and I will try to make more videos for you soon. Good luck, Godspeed, see you next time.